Please rise for the singing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony for the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine class of 2022. It is my honor at this time to introduce the president of WVSOM, Dr. James Nimitz.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Griffith, and please join me in thanking Jeff Bryant and the Greenbrier River Brass Ensemble for the processional music today. Thank you, Jeff. Wow. Hello, everyone. Warmest of greetings on this very special day. It is so great to see you. It's so great to be here, to be in person again, and it's just such a wonderful, wonderful day. I want to welcome our platform party, our distinguished guests, WVSOM faculty and staff, and especially the members of the class of 2022 and their family members and friends. I welcome everyone who is here in person and those watching via our live stream. Hi, everybody out there. To the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine's 45th commencement ceremony. I hope you and your families are well. Wow, what a journey these past 4 years have been. You know, medical education is a difficult, demanding path at any time, but it has been especially true during the COVID pandemic era. You know, as I was reflecting on today, your class will always be very special to me. And I think you know, I've been blessed to be connected to 33 graduating classes at this institution. And I am so honored to be here. But your class was, when it was your first year, it was my first year as president of this incredible institution. And for me, and hopefully for you, there's a bond there. Because I remember, and I will always remember what happened in the spring of 2020, how it affected your national boards, how it affected your rotations in your third year, how it affected the potential of your match. And you did great in your match against all odds. Yeah. But But here's the thing, here you are, 4 years later, and you have made it. Congratulations. I mean, congratulations. I mean, this is a big deal, but what you've accomplished in the last 4 years is truly, truly remarkable. And I just want to say, and this is to the class, I want to acknowledge and thank you for being here, for persevering through those difficult times, for your resilience in the face of constant change and uncertainty, for your kindness to each other, for your patience, cooperation, and understanding with the administration and faculty. It was tough, for your professionalism and character in the face of difficult circumstances, for your dedication to your osteopathic medical studies, and for your support of each other and for WVSOM. You have truly distinguished yourselves as a class, and all of us are so very proud of you. So, in spite of the challenges of the time, and there are many, we are here today to honor and celebrate you for your incredible accomplishments and to acknowledge you as the newest members of the osteopathic medical profession. I hope you are soaking up this moment, this glory that is so well deserved and earned. It's so richly deserved. We are so proud of you. Let the celebration begin. Congratulations. I am pleased and honored to be joined by a number of distinguished guests who are on the stage with me this morning. Our keynote speaker, Barbara Ross-Lee, DO. Linda, if you could hold your applause. Thank you. Linda Boyd, DO, WVSOM VP for Academic Affairs and Dean. Dreama Hill, PhD, WVSOM VP for Community Engagement and Development. Did I mention Dr. Holstein? I think I missed that. I'm so sorry. Dr. Holstein, my apologies. But Robert Holstein, DO, class of 1979, chair of the WVSOM Board of Governors. Assisting with hooding our graduates will be Michelle Linsenmeyer, EDD, Associate Dean for Assessment and Educational Development. Roy Russ, PhD, Associate Dean for Preclinical Education. And Art Rubin, DO, class of 1979, the second class, Associate Dean for Predoctoral Clinical Education. And reading the names of our graduates today are Andrea Nazar, DO, Department Chair and Professor of Clinical Sciences, and Deborah Schmidt, DO, class of 1988, Department Chair and Professor of OPP. With us in the audience are Lewisburg Mayor Beverly White, West Virginia Delegate Mike Honecker, Mrs. Jean Holstein, wife of Dr. Bob Holstein, and my better half, Nancy Bulla. Graduates, today you are joining the ranks of the medical world as osteopathic physicians. I know you did not accomplish this incredible achievement on your own, so I'd like you to acknowledge and thank those who helped you on your journey to earn your medical degree. Your parents, spouses, partners, significant others, family members, and friends who have assisted and supported you over these past 4 years as you pursued your dream of becoming an osteopathic physician. This is your chance to publicly show your thanks and appreciation. Please stand and join me in applauding these very important people in your lives. Members of the class of 2022, You are about to become physicians, graduating from one of the finest osteopathic medical schools in the country. WVSOM is proud of its reputation as a leader in graduating physicians of the highest caliber. We are celebrating the 50th anniversary of our founding this year, and we are proud of what we have accomplished in the past 50 years. You are now a part of WVSOM's story and legacy, and will help to write our story for the next 50 years. I am extremely proud of you and what you have accomplished, and I am confident that you will continue to represent yourself and WVSOM with the same level of enthusiasm, service, and professionalism that you have demonstrated over these past 4 years, and will become leaders in your various fields. I want to leave with you the following thoughts from a great physician, William Osler, co-founder of Johns Hopkins Hospital, who reminds us, quote, "The practice of medicine is an art, not a trade, a calling, not a business. A calling in which your heart will be exercised equally with your head." End of quote. You have been given a solid foundation to begin your practice of medicine, but your education at WVSOM is just the beginning. Remember that you are a part of a rich osteopathic medical tradition. Your hands can be your eyes, and your spirit and intuition can guide you as much as your mind. So remember to take care of yourself, your mind, your body, and your spirit. As you now embark upon a new chapter in your life, I wish you all the best as you enter your residency. Live your life as fully as you can and be the best you can be every day. That's why God, some days are really good, some days are not so good. That's why I believe we get another day. I'm proud of you. Many blessings to you. Good luck and congratulations. Now, for our next speaker, the chairperson of the WVSOM's Board of Governors, my good friend and colleague, Dr. Bob Holstein, class of 1979, the second class. And again, I apologize, Bob. I'm actually a little nervous up here.
No Christmas gift for you. Okay. Her name was Jeanette H. Bowles, D.O. She went by the nickname of Nettie, and she was the first woman to be honored the conferred degree of Doctor of Osteopathy. At a time in America when women were not readily accepted in the allopathic medical profession. But that was not true for this new profession of osteopathy, established in 1892 by its founder, Dr. A.T. Still, M.D. She was the first in her first graduating class of 1894 at the American School of Osteopathy. She was one of 5 women in the first graduating class. Nettie was a first, and she was a trailblazer. At this 45th commencement ceremony, your class, the class of 2022, has the distinct honor of being the celebratory class of the 50th anniversary of the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. Our founders were a unique group of visionaries who had a dream to establish an osteopathic medical school in West Virginia to meet the healthcare needs of its people and the healthcare needs of the peoples worldwide. Our first president, Roland P. Sharp, D.O., shared in the fulfillment of the vision. He too was a first, and as president, a true trailblazer. In reflecting on this, I realized that I too was a first. I was first chair trombone in the high school concert and marching band because I was the only trombone in the... But this morning you will hear more about a truly well-deserved honor of being first. A true trailblazer graces our presence this morning, and you will be in awe as a fellow DO and a friend of our school shares her life with us. My hope for each of you, class of 2022, is that you will seek to be a true trailblazer, that you will seek to be a first, that you will be a trailblazer in this new experience as a DO in this prestigious osteopathic profession. As chair and on behalf of the WVSOM Board of Governors, may I be one of the first to congratulate you, class of 2022, on this most auspicious occasion. May God bless you, and may God bless WVSOM. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Holstein. I also want to acknowledge that I know at least two other WVSOM board members are with us. Dr. Poling, Dr. Gary Poling is here with us. He'll be hooding one of our graduates, and Dr. Peter Ward, our faculty representative, is here. Thank you. Next, I would like to acknowledge the messages contained in your program from the president of the WVSOM Alumni Association, Dr. Manuel Ballas, WVSOM class of 1993, the president of the WVSOM Foundation, Mr. Dwayne Duncan, and the president of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association, Dr. Mike Roby, WVSOM class of 2004. Thank you, Dr. Ballast, Mr. Duncan, and Dr. Roby for your warm welcomes. Now it is my honor, truly an honor, to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Barbara Ross Lee, DO, is a national leader in medical education. Her distinguished career accomplishments have already earned her a place in the history books, and she hasn't finished. Speaking about firsts, as Dr. Holstein has indicated, Dr. Ross Lee is the first African-American woman to serve as a dean of a U.S. medical school, MD or DO, in this country. That is an incredible achievement. She served from 1993 to 2001 at the Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine. She went on to serve as the Vice President for Health Sciences and Medical Affairs at New York Institute of Technology from 2001 to 2017, and at the same time was the interim dean of the university's College of Osteopathic Medicine, as well as the interim dean for the School of the Health Professions. Then in 2014, Dr. Ross Lee became the inaugural dean, this is now dean of NYIT Com at Arkansas State, and the president of its faculty practice plan. In addition to these career milestones, Dr. Ross Lee served as a commissioned officer in the U.S. Naval Reserve's Medical Corps, achieving the rank of captain, and she was the first osteopathic physician to participate in the Robert Wood Johnson Health Policy Fellowship, and she has become a nationally recognized expert on health policy issues and serves as an advisor on primary care, medical education, minority health, women's health, and rural health issues on the federal and state levels. This is a person who testifies in front of Congress for us. Recognizing the need within the osteopathic medical community to prepare others to advocate for the profession on health policy issues, Dr. Ross Lee created the Health Policy Fellowship. The fellowship has been in existence for over 20 years and has produced a large number of fellows who advocate at the local, state, and national levels, many of whom are now in leadership or were in leadership positions. For example, at WVSOM alone, Drs. Edelman, Pence, Boisiford, Ziner, and myself are all health policy fellows, and we have benefited greatly from the efforts of our keynote speaker today. I see Dr. Barbara Ross-Lee as one of my mentors, and I'm so thankful for that mentorship. It is not surprising that Dr. Ross-Lee has been recognized for her work throughout her distinguished career, including 8 honorary degrees and many national awards. Most recently, the ACGME, which is the accrediting body, I know the students know this, but the accrediting body that accredits all residencies in the U.S., both MD, well, all residencies now that MD and DO students go into, named their annual Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award the Barbara Ross-Lee DO Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award in her honor. Dr. Ross-Lee continues to serve the osteopathic profession with distinction and is currently serving as the president of the American Osteopathic Foundation. Without further ado, our 2022 keynote speaker, Dr. Barbara Ross-Lee.
And in my spare time, I raised 5 kids. Today is a festive day. Today is the day that the graduates have been awaiting for at least 4 long years. I am honored by the opportunity to celebrate with you at your commencement. I'd like to thank President Nemitz for extending the invitation for me to speak to you on this very, very important occasion in your lives. As I prepared for this day in the graduates' lives, I explored many topics. What don't they know that they need to know before they leave here today? It's a testimonial to the education that you have received that after reviewing your curriculum, the students, you'll appreciate this. I reviewed your curriculum. I looked at every single one of your lectures. I reviewed your PowerPoints. And after all of that, I was only able to identify 4 topics that you might need to hear today before you leave this august institution. And after I identified the 4, then I couldn't make a decision. Which one should I give? Right? So I decided, knowing how good you are at multiple choice, I'd have you make the final decision as to what you... Now, you need to know, since, you know, if I can't get a consensus on this, I'm prepared to give all 4. Okay, so let me give you the choices. First choice, the role of polyfluoroalkyl substances in the decline of bone mineral density in adolescent males. That's your first choice. Surprise? Second choice, recognition and importance of the evolutionary contributions of the amygdala to the increasing incidence of psychosocial and behavioral disorders. Now, you know you need to know that, right? And then, number 3, the limitations of artificial intelligence and the incorporation of algorithms for patient care in a society with a significant percentage of the population adversely impacted by the variables created by the social determinants of health. That's it. And then number 4, what the future holds for each of you. Number 5 is all of the above. Okay, so now let's vote. You ready? Bone mineral density. Amygdala. Take that young lady's name. Number 3, artificial intelligence. You're testing me. And number 4, your futures. You got outvoted. Number 5, all of the above. You got quiet then, didn't you? Okay. A commencement speaker has 4 challenges: to be inspirational, to be motivational, to be entertaining, and most importantly, to be brief. I hope to achieve 3 out of 4 of those, and no, you don't get to vote. Years ago, you started out on an educational path that has led you to your seats today. You set a personal goal that only a very few people are ever able to achieve. That is, to become an osteopathic physician. It hasn't always been easy or fun, but today you have arrived. You have acquired the knowledge and mastered the skills necessary to be a doctor. The road has been long, your sacrifices have been great, and your debt load is high. Becoming a physician is not just a career choice. It is a high calling with awesome responsibilities. But it is even something more. From this day forward, it is an immutable part of who you are and who you will always be, like race, ethnicity, or gender. It will be how you think of yourself and how others think of you, because being a physician not only describes what you will do, but who you have become. Your faculty, mentors, and peers have often reminded you of those awesome responsibilities that the practice of medicine involves. But today I won't talk about responsibilities. Instead, today I will talk about expectations. You already know that your parents have started referring to you as my son or daughter, the doctor. Your children will happily tell their friends that my mom or dad is a doctor, and I see show and tell at school in your futures. Your spouse will hear social acquaintances at dinners and parties whispering that he or she is married to a doctor. Your spouses and significant others will be overheard talking about the miracles that you have performed with your patients, because they expect you to perform miracles. Your families who have shared your aspirations, witnessed your sacrifices, and to whom you owe much will expect you to be financially and socially successful. But they will also expect you to serve as their personal health advocate. They will expect you to facilitate, expedite, explain, and run interference for them in all health and medical matters. You will become the personal, willing, and unpaid medical navigator and expert consultant for their friends and neighbors. Your friends will see you as a personal reflection of their social status. They will begin introducing you as, "This is my friend, the doctor." They expect you to be successful, and they expect free advice and discounted service. Your future patients who will present to you in the most vulnerable status that a human being can experience, a patient in need of expert help. They will expect you to bridge the cultural divide between your personal beliefs and their personal beliefs, to respect and value them as fellow human beings. They will expect that you are worthy of their trust. To paraphrase a quote from Maya Angelou, patients will forget what you said. They will even forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. They will expect you to listen, observe, promote health and function, relieve pain and suffering, and be understanding. They will also expect you to be available when they need you, irrespective of your own personal lives. Your community will expect you to have integrity, high morals, leadership skills, common sense, excellent communication skills, good judgment in all matters, personal and professional, and finally, empathy and a caring attitude for all people, regardless of their economic status, race, ethnicity, religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, type of insurance or lack thereof. And of course, they expect you to serve as an example of the type of quality professional that their communities produce. Your colleagues will expect you to be dependable and reliable, committed to the highest quality of health care, and to display no reluctance to ask for help when you need it, often in the form of a consultation or referral. They will also expect that you will respond to their calls, emails, and texts in a timely manner. Timely means stat. Your residency programs expect that you will be a team player, comfortable assuming responsibility, organized, academically prepared, productive, and dependable. Also, they expect that you will be available when needed, even when after midnight when you're at home. Your school will expect you to have a commitment to the highest quality of health care and the self-confidence to deliver on that expectation. It expects you to be a role model for and a mentor to future graduates. And of course, your school expects you to volunteer when they ask. The osteopathic profession expects you to be loyal and supportive, to maintain current medical knowledge, and to be actively involved in the profession's future. And above all else, the profession expects you to exhibit the highest level of professional competence in your care of every single patient. And of course, pay your dues for your membership. And then there's society in general that expects and assumes that you will be a member of an humanitarian effort produced by natural disasters, societal dysfunction, and man's inhumanity to man. And we've seen a lot of that recently. We've gone through, and we've shared in the last 2.5 years, a pandemic, climate disasters, political insurrection, social injustice, war, poverty, homelessness, and the many human biases that create health vulnerabilities and disparities. But last but not least is gun violence and mass shootings of our children. We've lived through that. Based on your accomplishments that are being acknowledged today, you have inherited and will be expected to assume a position in the humanitarian cleanup crew in defense of health, wellness, and human life. You represent our humanity. Finally, society expects you to be professional, committed to the betterment of humanity, an advocate for good causes and for other people, and that frequently takes the form of a requested donation. And you thought medical school was hard. You're about to get in the mix. So now let me share my personal expectations for each of you. I call them the 4 B's. Be good. Do the best that you can do, and be the absolute best that you can be. Someone's life may depend on it. Second, be wise. Use your education, but don't abandon common sense. Employ good judgment based on the knowledge and skills that you have attained. Continue to learn, because status quo is a formula for mediocrity, and no one here aspires to be mediocre. Third, be proud. Osteopathic medicine has succeeded against all odds to contribute value to healthcare. Each of you must be confident that the contributions you will make to the health of this nation as an osteopathic physician are distinctive and important, because they are. And finally, be visionary. Change has been described as the only constant. Nowhere is change more evident or more needed than in healthcare. Be a change agent and contribute to change that will make things better for the health of the populations that you will serve and the profession that you represent. Be good. Be wise. Be proud. Be visionary. And I'm sure that you will meet and surpass all of these expectations, because your school chose you and educated you to be a member of the proud and distinctive profession of osteopathic medicine. You are the profession's future. Enhance it and guard it well, because we bring an important and valuable perspective to healthcare. American medicine would be diminished without osteopathic medicine. So I will now conclude with a phrase from a doctor that you all know. How'd I do, 3 out of 4? This doctor is Dr. Seuss. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ross Lee, for all you have done for your patients, students, and the osteopathic profession, and thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom with us. You have truly made a difference in the lives of many. I would now like to introduce the president of the class of 2022, William Kohler, who will deliver the class address. William, if you'd please come to the podium.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. For those in the back and those watching at home, I would be remiss if I did not extend another thank you to all of our support systems that have served us throughout this journey. We owe you a thank you. You've served as our inspiration. Without having mentors, parents, spouses, partners, siblings, and friends in our corner, our accomplishments today would have been an impossible feat. Med school is a team sport, so thank you. So to our class, the class of 2022, this is an address for you. Congratulations. I cannot express more pride in our group and what we have accomplished. I will claim unequivocally that we have had the best match in school history. So now, 4 years removed from the merger, where osteopathic and allopathic medical students could finally compete for the same residency positions, we have cemented a precedent of success for all of the future classes. In fact, we can boast one of the most successful match rates in school history, 99%. Many of us will represent the first osteopath in his or her residency, including a number of nationally acclaimed programs which WVSOM has never before reached. This will help expand our already robust nationwide alumni network. To that end, we ourselves will be representing 31 different states across the country, and though I might be slightly biased in furnishing the statistic, our school has matched 17 surgeons, the most in any class history. In keeping with the vision of our school's founders, 62% of you, by my count, will be entering a primary care specialty, and 22 of you will be serving in the great state of West Virginia, which we have called home these last 4 years. So congratulations to every single one of you. So all this success, however, was not without what we'll say to be an arduous journey. Our class is distinguished by the sheer volume of adversity we have had to overcome as a group in the past 4 years. From a rapidly shifting national landscape of medical education, proposed changes to the curriculum, new faculty and administration coming in and out and joining alongside of us, we never wavered. When the pandemic disrupted the end of our second year, fragmented our standardized exam board preparation, jeopardized our rotations, we never wavered. While the opportunity to showcase our skills at our top residency programs was limited nationwide, and our interviews were moved around at a moment's notice, we never wavered. Even the possibility of this very graduation ceremony hung in the balance just a few short weeks ago. But all of that being said, we never wavered. The medical world changed around us, but we never wavered as a testament to the continuity and dedication demanded of our new profession. Keep in mind, my little 2-minute and 30-second monologue only expresses what we've experienced together. Each of you have borne your own struggles and personal sacrifice, battled your personal demons, and emerged victorious as a result. As I look down the aisles at each and every one of you, I can say the same of everyone here. We refuse to be defined by our circumstances, but rather our response and our resiliency as human beings. We represent one of the most diverse classes in school history, and at the time we matriculated, one of the youngest. We're in the presence of mothers, fathers, former professional athletes and marathon runners, artists, political advocates, musicians, and members of our nation's great armed forces. We are in the presence of 189 extraordinary individuals, breaking barriers and shattering stereotypes left and right. Regardless of your background and your new specialty, I have no doubt each of you will fulfill your potential as physicians and selflessly put your patients above all else. It has been a privilege to serve as your president for the past 3 years, but just as I have led, it is now my turn to follow each and every one of you in your new career as physicians. Thank you.
Thank you, William. Thank you very much, William. Will the faculty and staff present please stand? Class of 2022, the faculty and staff at WVSOM have worked very hard on your behalf, and I know you acknowledge what they have done for you during these past 4 years. I hope you have an opportunity to reach out and thank them personally. Please join me now in giving the faculty and staff a big round of applause. Everybody here wishes the best for you, and we are very proud of you. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize several very important groups of people without whom this morning's ceremony would not be possible. Their work and professionalism and preparation put forth on countless tasks have made this morning's celebration a success. Everyone, please join me in thanking our maintenance and ground crew, our housekeeping staff, the media services, marketing and communications, and IT departments, the president's and dean's office staff, the Office of Student Life, and all of the other staff members who helped to put this event together. My Vice President for Human Resources, who's here today, and members, my Vice President for External Relations, Dr. Ed Bridges, who oversaw this, and Marietta Harvey and Debbie Green. Thanks to all of you. I also would like to thank our state police who are with us today, who are providing security for this event. Thank you to everyone who has made this event possible. And now, for the main event, I ask Dr. Boyd, WVSOM's Dean, to approach the podium for her remarks and to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine.
Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2022. This is an exciting day for all of you and your families, but it's an exciting day for me too, as today is my first graduation as Dean of WVSOM. It has been so nice getting to meet many of you, and I can see that WVSOM's strong legacy will live on in each of you as you go out into residency and then into practice. You are entering such a noble profession, and one in which you will work hard, but you'll also have many rewards. Graduating medical school is a big accomplishment, and we are very proud of you. Congratulations. And now, will the graduating class please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, these candidates wearing the gold stoles represent the top 10% of their class and are graduating with academic honors. Dr. Nimitz, the men and women standing before you have fulfilled all of the requirements as prescribed by the American Osteopathic Association, the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, and by the faculty of the school. I therefore present them to you for conferring the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Now, we will begin the hooding ceremony. Will the first row of graduates please approach the stage to be recognized?
Congratulations, class of 2022. I am so happy for you. And we will now begin. Layla Nicole Abdullah will be hooded by Dr. Portia Beetham. Malik Abdul Karim will be hooded by Dr. Adib Abdul Karim. David Aboud will be hooded by Dr. Carolyn Aboud. Zohaib Akban will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Anam Alam will be hooded by Dr. Marla Holler. Christopher Anziano will be hooded by Dr. Hilary Hamrick. Michael William Archer will be hooded by Dr. Lynette Archer. Stephanie Lowe Arnold will be hooded by Dr. Allison Arnold. Brandon Arnsberger will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Brooks Ocean Arthur will be hooded by Dr. Kevin Miller. Dina Rose Asali will be hooded by Dr. Omar Asali. Safia Tanvir Bajwa will be hooded by Dr. Tanvir Bajwa. Andrew Baker will be hooded by Dr. Hilary Hamrick. Elizabeth Ann Baker will be hooded by Dr. Jamie Blankenship. Jacob Baker will be hooded by Dr. John Johnson. Samantha Bangoon will be hooded by Dr. Samuel Bangoon. Jamie Basham will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Caitlin Belanger will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Sanjana Bendy will be hooded by Dr. Portia Beetham. Austin Tyler Bennett will be hooded by Dr. Jill Bennett.
Melanie Renee Bennett will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Alexander Bivac will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Brendan Blackford will be hooded by Dr. Tony Ann French. Peter Blake will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. John Michael Blanc will be hooded by Dr. Michael S. Blanc. And here he comes. Randall Bosley will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Alexandra Garrett Bowman will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Alina Broughton will be hooded by Dr. Tony Ann French. Michael Brown will be hooded by Dr. Vinny Sorrentino. Amanda Buzetta will be hooded by Dr. Emily Thomas. Brendan Gabriel Camp will be hooded by Dr. Tony Ann French. Jeremy Campano will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Matthew Clune will be hooded by Dr. Michael Clune. Okay. Alexis Brooke Colson will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Excuse me, I think we've turned a page. So welcome to the next incorrect page. Hi, Natasha. Natasha Carrero Mercado will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. You guys were on your feet, weren't you? Alexis Danielle Cash will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutney. Abigail Cerrone will be hooded by Dr. Kelly Cerrone. Manpreet Kaur Kahil will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Sharon Ann Cherian will be hooded by Dr. Sean Cherian. Logan Cheshire will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Jijan Zhong will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Dakota John Klauser will be hooded by Dr. Aaron Miller.
Now, Matthew Clune will be hooded by Dr. Michael Clune. Alexis Brooke Colson will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Taylor Cochran Sutton will be hooded by Dr. Jake Newman. John Woodson Marshall Collins will be hooded by Dr. Melinda K. Collins. Erica Comdor will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Adam Cook will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Aubrey Marie Cook will be hooded by Dr. Gregory P. Cook. Joseph Robbins Cooper will be hooded by Dr. Sean Broderson. Alexa Marie Corso will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Corso. Austin Gerald Cox will be hooded by Dr. Alexis Squires. Sean Craze will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Philip Sharman Croce will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rudke. Rhea Dave will be hooded by Dr. Rita Dwan. Brock Davis will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Han Dedenow will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Adriana Joyce Donati will be hooded by Dr. Louis Donati. Tyler Doty will be hooded by Dr. Jeff Doty. Cameron Duba will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Diana Duong will be hooded by Dr. Benjamin Thomas Brown. Tommy Young will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding.
Ryan Michael Dutel will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Brittany Irwin will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. James Faulkner will be hooded by Dr. David Faulkner. Graham Federico, also known as Dragon, will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. James Farrick will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Brian Edward Flynn will be hooded by Dr. Susan Flynn. Nathan Foran will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Alexandria Ray Foster will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Nathan Fravor will be hooded by Dr. Lauren Fravor. Gerald Camden Furby III will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Prutke. Maria Rose Gano will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Kirsten Gateless will be hooded by Dr. Jessica Wilson. Nicholas Genovese will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. David Gerlach will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Anna Christine Gillen will be hooded by Dr. Portia Beetham. Caitlin Goss will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Christopher Henry George Goss will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Paul Edward Gray will be hooded by Dr. Carl Gray. Fadi Grease will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Jack Grossman will be hooded by Dr. Michael Grossman.
Akash Matthew Gupte will be hooded by Dr. Renee Matthew. Jasmine Garan will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutke. Madeline Carol Gwynn will be hooded by Dr. Joe Pack. Jacob Haig will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Rhett Lindsay Happel will be hooded by Dr. Ajah Happel. Casey Dawn Harmon will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. William Michael Harris will be hooded by Dr. William Michael Harris. Olivia Holodnik will be hooded by Dr. Jane Salamone. Robert William Horner IV will be hooded by Dr. Robert William Horner III. Daniel Hulse will be hooded by Dr. Aaron McGuffin. Elena Hunsinger will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Marissa Kerr will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Gage Allen Hurlbert will be hooded by Dr. Abdulrahman Nazif. Virginia Jarvis will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Vinod Jaratnam will be hooded by Dr. Vidya Jaratman. Oladoyin Jola Oye will be hooded by Dr. Daniel Oyetunde Jola Oye. Blake Jones will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Brittany Jones will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Sarah Catherine Jones will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Nathaniel John Jordan will be hooded by Dr. Gary Poling.
Jacqueline Sophia Khalil will be hooded by Dr. Fauzi Khalil. Augusta Kipper will be hooded by Dr. Peter Ward. Elaine Coberlin will be hooded by Dr. Alex Coberlin. William Kohler will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutke. Tyler Timothy Conan will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Vincent Edward Lamantia will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutke. Brooke Mackenzie Loudenslager will be hooded by Dr. Dina Shaper. Charmaine Lewis will be hooded by Dr. Marcel Redhead. Eric Lucas will be hooded by Dr. Laura Lucas. Kristen Lee Mahood will be hooded by Dr. Hilary Hamrick. Amanda Malnikoff will be hooded by Dr. Kristen Statler. Henry Benz Manigat will be hooded by Dania C. Manigat. Abdul Manan will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Caleb Hunter Holswade Martin will be hooded by Dr. Crystal Boudreau. Diana Latif Marzouk will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Katarina Vladimir Mastronardi will be hooded by Ludmila Lioshka. Ruba Mateen will be hooded by Dr. Mohammed Mateen Yusuf. Stephen May will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Abigail Mayfield will be hooded by Dr. Erin McGuffin. Lisa McKinney will be hooded by Dr. Jessica Wilson.
Gunja Mehta will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Noelle Elizabeth Meller will be hooded by Dr. Erin McGuffin. Jason Richard Miller will be hooded by Dr. Bradley Kenneth Miller. Kelly Miller will be hooded by Dr. Edward Hamrick. Joshua Morn will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Billy Murray will be hooded by Dr. Jessica Wilson. Christopher Mussel will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Daniel Myers will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. David Anthony Nye will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Molly O'Neill will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Garrett Parsons will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Mitchell Peebles will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Jacob Pence will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Ethan Powell will be hooded by Dr. Sheila Borick. Thomas Gage Powell will be hooded by Dr. Peter Ward. Haya N. Kitab will be hooded by Dr. Hassan Kitab. Shaban Ahmad Reina will be hooded by Dr. Isar Reina. Landon Redding will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Jacob Reddid will be hooded by Dr. Joanna Bailey. Sarah Reed will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. I'm gonna just leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that there.
Heather Nicole Reeves will be hooded by Dr. Peter Ward. Obad Raymond will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Christopher Richards will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Optimum Robinson will be hooded by Dr. Andrea Nazar. Dennis Rujdia will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Matthew James Santer will be hooded by Dr. Michael Anthony Santer Jr. Ahmed Sater will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Patrick Sawyers will be hooded by Dr. Heather Tarantino. Genevieve Sell will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Justin Sharp will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Lauren Shelton will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Christina Shen will be hooded by Dr. Marla Haller. Gregory Siebenaller will be hooded by Dr. Zita Siebenaller. Chris Silsky will be hooded by Dr. Richard Silsky. Taylor Brooke Simpson will be hooded by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Matthew St. Jean will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Kelsey Steele will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Sam Stein will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Matthew Taylor will be hooded by Dr. Hillary Hamrick. Tarek Tayan will be hooded by Dr. Hassan Kotab.
Matthew Tilley will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Retke. Rashna Tomar will be hooded by Dr. Michaela Gate. Valine Toppings will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Trevor Toussaint will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Emily Helene Van Antwerp will be hooded by Dr. Sarah Van Antwerp. Mary Velagapudi will be hooded by Dr. Sarath Velagapudi. Yes. Rochelle Vincent will be hooded by Dr. Art Rubin. Cade Walker will be hooded by Dr. Kristen Walker Davis. Janu Wang will be hooded by Dr. Wei-Hin Wang. Wang. Justin Ward will be hooded by Dr. P.K. Krajacik. Simranjit Wasir will be hooded by Dr. Daljit Singh. Thomas Price Watkins will be hooded by Dr. Andrew Gherkin. Samantha Weiss will be hooded by Dr. Olivia Weiss. Samantha Westbrook will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Hannah Claire Wheeler will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutke. James Edward White III will be hooded by Dr. Hunter White. Jazz Ursula Whitaker will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Chelsea McKenna Williams will be hooded by Dr. Tony Liu. Connor Wilson will be hooded by Dr. Lisa Rutke. Michael Wilson will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson.
Benjamin Wolf will be hooded by Dr. Michael Peterson. Alfredo Wong will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Benjamin Woodward will be hooded by Dr. Robert Foster. Christy Wu will be hooded by Dr. Donna Johnson. Prashant Yadav will be hooded by Dr. Prem Narayan Singh Yadav. Brooke Yasgur will be hooded by Dr. Andrea Nazar. Jordan Marie Yaki will be hooded by Dr. James Wadding. Michael Nicholas Yost will be hooded by Dr. Mark Allen Yost. And Jared Zopp will be hooded by Dr. Brian Cox. And we would like to take this time to recognize members from the class of 2022 who were unable to attend this morning's ceremony. Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations, graduates, again. Will the candidates please stand and repeat the osteopathic oath after me? You can find that in the back of your program. Please read along with me. I do hereby affirm, you're supposed to read along with me. I do, I know you know how to read. I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I am about to enter. I will be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and the life of my patients, to retain their confidence and respect both as a physician and a friend, who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity, to perform faithfully my professional duties, to employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability, keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I will be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community, sustaining its laws and institutions, not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drugs for deadly purposes to any person, though it be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation, and never by word or by act cast imputations upon them or their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who have taught me my art. To my college I will be loyal, and strive always for its best interest, and for the interests of students who will come after me. I will be ever alert to further the application of the basic biologic truths to the healing arts, and to develop the principles of osteopathy, which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still. Graduates of the class of 22, you may now move your tassels to the left. This brings us to the close of this ceremony. Faculty, guests, faculty and family and friends, please join me in welcoming the newest physicians in the osteopathic community. Graduates and guests, please remain in your seats while the platform party, faculty, and graduates mark out. Graduates will gather in the circle by the Alumni Tower for the traditional hat toss. Family and friends are invited to join the WVSOM family in this time-honored tradition. Immediately afterwards, all of our guests are invited to join us for a reception at the Roland P. Sharp Alumni Center, which is over there, and the Student Center, which is right behind us. We hope that you will also tour the campus while you're here. The buildings and the bookstore will be open for touring, except for the science building, which is behind us. Also, the graduation stage will be available for use for 1 hour after the ceremony if anybody wants to take pictures. And with that, we'll play the recessional. Music, please.